Okay, today we are talking about dashboard features in Salesforce. And dashboards are basically the quickest way to understand what's happening in your business without digging into rows and rows of data. A dashboard is not just nice charts. As you can see, it's a collection of components that are powered by reports. So dashboards don't create new data. They visualize what your reports already shows. So in this video, I will walk you through the most important dashboards features like components, real data time behavior, layouts, filters, cross filtering, like permissions, and exporting. So let's see it. Okay, let's start with dashboard components. A dashboard components is basically one block on the dashboard, like a chart, like a number, like a gauge, right? So each component answers a specific question. For example, how many open cases do we have? Or what the pipeline by stage? Or how many leads come in this week? The key idea in dashboard is only as good as the questions your components answer. So instead of adding random visual, you design components based on what the user needs to know, right? So let's do the next one. So now the most dashboard components are report based, which is that means every component has a source a report behind it, right? So when you add components, one of the first thing Salesforce asks which report will power this component. This is why understanding reports matters so much. If the report is wrong, so component is wrong. So think of it like this: like reports equal the data logic, and the dashboard components equal the visual result, right? And let's see the next one. It's the real time data. So a lot of people think dashboards are always real time, but it depends. Dashboard shows the latest data based on when the underlying reports are refreshed and when the dashboard is refreshed. So the important habit is if you need the newest numbers, you refresh the dashboards. Okay? Also, some dashboards may be scheduled to refresh or emailed. We will talk about it later, okay? But just remember, dashboards are live views of report results, not as separate based, okay, database. Now let's talk about customizable layouts. Dashboards are not one size fits all. You can choose how many columns you want and how components are arranged. This matters because different users can dashboards differently, and also a manager may want the most important KPI at the top, right? Or a team lead may want charts grouped by a process. So layout is not just design; it's it's a usability. So if the dashboard is too crowded, people won't use it. Okay. And now one of the most useful features, dashboard filters. Sometimes people call them dynamic filters. And a dashboard filter allows the viewer to change what they are looking at without building a new dashboard. For example, like filter by region, owner, team, product, a data range, or etc., right? Depending on the report fields. So instead of creating 10 dashboards for 10 regions, you can create only one dashboard and let users filter it. And this is a huge for scalability and maintenance. Okay. So conditional highlighting. This feature is about making dashboards instantly readable. For example, you can set rules like if the number is below target, show it as warning. If it's above targets, show it as good. Uh, this is especially useful for executive or managers because they don't want to analyze, but they want to quickly note what needs attention. Okay, conditional lighting turns a dashboard into a decision tools. So the next one is okay. Now let's talk about gauge components. And a gauge is perfect when you want to show progress toward a goal. For example, open cases versus target, revenue versus target, calls made versus target. A gauge instantly answers, are we on track or not? So use a gauge when you have a clear benchmark or target. Some metric components. Metric components are the simplest, but they are powerful. A metric is usually just one number, like a KPI. For example, total revenue this month, number of open leads, number of overdue invoices. It's great for dashboards because it gives that it's a glance value. If someone opens your dashboard and doesn't understand anything, at least the metrics should still tell a story, okay? So cross filter is one of the coolest features. Cross filtering means components can interact with each other. So when you click on the charts, other components update based on that selection. Example, you click a bar for close won opportunities, and other charts adjust to show details only for that segment. Okay, so this makes dashboards feel interactive and much more useful than static visual. But the key is cross filtering works best when your components are related and tell one connected story. Okay, so let's move me put here. And now it's sharing and permissions because this is where many dashboards fail. In Salesforce, a dashboard is stored in a folder, and the folder sharing controls who can see it. Yeah. But also remember, even if someone can view the dashboard, they still need access to the underlying reports and data, right? So visibility is layered. So folder access to the dashboard, access to the source reports, and security permissions to the actual records. Okay, so when someone says I can see the dashboard, so it may be folder sharing or it may be report access or record level access. Next is a feature that's extremely important: dashboards viewing options, sometimes called view as or running user. Dashboards can be configured to run as the person who created the dashboard or the logged in user. This change everything. Okay. If the dashboard runs as the creator, then everyone sees the dashboards based on the creator's data access. If they runs as the login user, then each person sees the dashboard based on their own permissions. Okay, so this is how you decide. Do you want everyone to see the same numbers, or do you want each person to see only what they are allowed to see? This is a very real business decision. Finally, exporting and printing. Sometimes a dashboard needs to be shared outside Salesforce for meetings, presentations, or stakeholders who don't log in, right? You can export dashboard data or print views depending on your setup. But always be careful. Exporting can expose data, so permissions still matters. Yeah. So dashboards are built from components. Most components are report based. You can visualize data with charts, also the gauge and metrics. You can make dashboards interactive with filters and cross filtering. And you must understand sharing like permissions and view as options to make dashboards to work correctly. Okay. If you understand these dashboard features, you are not just creating dashboards. You're designing how people make decisions in Salesforce. So see you in the next video.